Afternoon, Sir Michael Pabustan. I am Angelo Miguel, ABALOS. I am about to report complete checklist when performing an inspection. Types of aircraft inspections. For many fleet managers, an aircraft's maintenance schedule revolves around the inspection standards set in Title 14 of the Code of Federal Regulations. 14 CFR, you might also hear this regulation sometimes referred to as the FAR. As according to 14 CFR, there is three primary types of inspections. First, annual inspections. These routine inspections apply to most aircraft except those with valid progressive inspection plan, flight permit, experimental certificate, or provisional airworthiness certification. The inspection must be signed by of a mechanic with an inspection authorization or IA. If your aircraft is outside of the prescribed annual inspection period but you need to transfer it to another facility, you may be able to get a ferry permit. This permit allows to move your aircraft outside of the inspection period legally. 2. 100-hour inspections. The FAA requires 100-hour inspections for any aircraft carry passengers for hire other the crew members. Example, if a student uses instructor's aircraft for training, that aircraft would be subject the 100-hour definition. On the other hand, if a student provides their aircraft and brings an instructor along, the aircraft will not be subject to the rule. You can find 100-hour inspection checklist in 14 CFR Part 91. If an aircraft surpasses the 100-hour mark but needs to transfer to another maintenance facility where mechanics can perform inspection, there is a 10-hour grace period in which transfer is legal. However, excess time it takes to complete the transfer counts toward to the next 100 hours. Number 3. Progressive inspections. A progressive inspection is only available for applicants. You must apply to the Flight Standards District Office when a maintenance and the appropriate documentation is type of inspections. You designate the aircraft maintenance schedule and adhere to all manufacturer standards. When a progressive inspections program, checks of the aircraft components happen at fixed intervals, and for each check, you are responsible for what your maintenance plan specifies for inspection. Progressive inspection programs are often the choice of an owner of high-usage aircraft fleet like those for corporate uses and flight schools. These programs help to minimize downtime as aircraft are out of service for short period. If your plane would normally require 100-hour inspection, for example, you could divide it into 4 phases instead. That mean an inspection every 25 hours that would cover a portion of 100 hours at the end of the 4-phase cycle. At 100-hour inspection would be complete. Progressive maintenance. Plans are non-transferable if you sell or buy an aircraft. The new owner must go through application process approval of progressive maintenance plan themselves. Also, the new maintenance plan will be endorsed by the FSDO within a year the last completed maintenance cycle of the previous owner. Pre-flight inspections. One of the last types of inspection as a plane goes through before it can fly is the pre-flight inspection. Every pilot must make this final check to ensure the general integrity of their aircraft. Be brief overview. Cabin inspection. The first check that you have required paperwork That acronym ARROW can help you remember the 5 documents you need to bring. First, airworthiness certificate. Second, registration certificate. Third, radio station license, only required for operations outside the US. Fourth, operating handbook. Fifth, weight and balance data. Legally, these documents and certificates must be inside the aircraft, and the airworthiness certificate to be on the display where passengers can see it. Next, make sure the cockpit switches and valve toggles are in the right position. Switch the battery on the record fuel gauge readings to compare your visual inspections later. Turn off the battery and make sure your magnetos are off. Clean the cockpit of all the trash and any unsecured tools to make sure seatbelts aren't fraying too loose. If plane has fuses, find the location and number of spares. Second, exterior inspection. All pilots should do walk around of their aircraft before flight. When even if it's recently service approved, it's always good idea to double check all the components. Pre-flight inspection ensure nothing is damaged or overlooked. Here's what to check. Look for loose rivets, bolts, nuts, and safety wire devices and residue around the items. Check brake pads and discs for thickness and look for rust and grooves. Check tires for wear and flats by rolling the plane forward and backward. Check oleo struts for proper inflations. Test ridge controls for free movement with snow chafing. Don't forget to remove the control lock. Make sure control hinge fasteners are secure. Check propellers for oil leaks, significant damage, and loose blades. Inspect the engine. Check oil levels and make sure air intakes are free of debris. Check the exhaust pipe. Make sure it's free of oil and black buildup. Fuel system. Check the fuel quantity and compare the cockpit gauges. Look for the correct octane color and debris and make sure fuel vents aren't obstructed. Drain sumps and sample fuel. Be sure fuel doesn't keep dripping after. Clean your windows inside and out. Review your aircraft performance data, emergency, and procedures. That's it. Thank you for listening. Keep safe.